At least it's morning for me. Uh, Up late last night, diamond painting, of course, and now I'm back at it. It is Monday morning, May 29th. It is 10:46 a.m. and I'm still working on this. I'm hoping maybe eventually I can get some of the drills I need for the Golden Valley and maybe be able to join you ladies. I may be having a late start at that one, but I'd like to at least try. So we'll see what happens with ordering them and getting them shipped on time or close to when I need them. And I'll just play catch up. I've worked on this. I see I've got something stuck. Oh gosh. With my drills, I've been the ABs I've been putting in with the tweezers because I I lose my stickiness when I use my drill pen, so I don't want to mess with that. So this is what it looks like so far. Hopefully you can see it. I'll have to check the video later and maybe rerun it. Let me see if you can see it. Yep, I guess you can somewhat. I'll turn the light on and talk a little bit, I guess. I don't know what to discuss. The one thing I was going to say is that I noticed when I kitted this up, this red covered bridge up, the drills were, I'd say, less than half of them had static like you would not believe. And I, of course, don't own any dryer sheets. I only use my fabric softener. And I thought, well, what the heck? I have fabric softener and I have paper towels. So I took the little bit of fabric softener, doused a paper towel, squished it up a little bit, and added, just a little water to it and unraveled it a little. And then I let it hang and dry. And it acted just like a dryer sheet. So I put little pieces in them and very little static at all. So I figure, hey, if you don't have any dryer sheets, because not everybody uses them, and if you do, great. But if you don't, and you need to improvise, that worked. At least it worked for me. Right now I'm starting into the barn part, or I don't know why I keep calling this a barn. The bridge. It has a bunch of the number, I think it is the 114 red AB all along the side of it here and up in, and it is beautiful. Right now I'm going to be working on 817, the color 817. It's another red. It still has some static in it, but not too bad. At least it ends up in my tray. I'm trying to think what is going on today. not a whole lot. I hate Monday mornings, beginning of the week. Let me get my other light over here. This will help. Might brighten things up a little bit. I was up last night until, I'd say about 3 in the morning. Of course, diamond painting. It's an addiction, you know that once you get started, you just can't stop. I was hoping that if I really, worked hard at it, who's to say I couldn't get most all this finished in time to be able to start the Golden Valley. At least start it, and if and when I can get the drills, then I can fill in, what's missing. So I may go ahead and start it on the 1st. I will do a video the night before on kitting up, maybe a little bit of it, so that at least, it'll be ready. And now, Hoy Bella, I saw the one that you were doing. Oh my gosh, that is a beautiful landscape. I could never do that one. I could never do one like that. It would drive me crazy. It just looks so complicated. But I'm sure you'll accomplish it. I don't know all the ladies that are joining. I knew there were some others. We need to set up a list somewhere so we know. So at least I know who all is joining. I mean, I know Lazy Retired Granny is on it, and Becky, and Chef Diamond. And that's where I get lost. And then Hoy Bella, is doing a landscape. I know there's at least 2 or 3 others. So I think Chef Diamond said there were 7 of us as friends. Whoops, there goes a drill. 7 of them doing it. That is wonderful. I just hope, if they don't start a YouTube channel, post on the other YouTube channels, keep us informed. Be nice if you got a channel. They talked me into one, and here I am. It's hard to talk, like I said, when you're talking to yourself. But think of it this way. Nobody sees you. Nobody knows, anything. You don't have to give your name, and if you do, okay, fine. But who's going to bother you? You get on there, you just, do like Lazy Retired Granny. Just sit there, talk about your day, talk about the day before. Diamond paint, that way you get, any tips that you may have. See, we don't know. I mean, you could have some tips on doing things your way that we'd sit there and go, hey, we could try that. I mean, just sit and chatter away just like me, or stumble over your words. What the heck? It's I keep trying to think what I want to talk about. We did nothing over the Memorial Weekend, nothing whatsoever to me anymore, except for maybe Thanksgiving, Christmas, and Easter. those would probably be the only real holidays that I would want to bother with family. The rest of them are just days. I mean, they're not something that I, have to sit down and celebrate with a bunch of people. I can do it on my own. No big deal. In my family, we had a lot of military. My one uncle was in the, he was in the Army and the Navy? Or was he, because he was in one, finished up his tour, and then joined another branch, and I don't remember how that went. Then I had another uncle that was Army. My stepfather was Army, World War II. My father was in the Navy. My brother, Air Force. 2 brother-in-laws, Army. Big military. It covered every branch, I think, except the Marines. I'm not even sure. Maybe my one uncle was Marine. I don't remember. I'd have to ask my mother that again because, most times her mind is better than mine. So we covered a lot of the military. Let's see. Oh, weather's catching up to us today. It's supposed to be 89 degrees today. So guess where I am staying at? Inside with the air conditioning on. I am not going outside for anything. Nothing. That is way too hot for me. I mean, if I didn't have a puppy, I wouldn't be stepping out that door. Period. That's just more than I can handle. So, and I think it was at 9 o'clock it was 70, and now it's 76 degrees. So it's not going to take long before it hits 89 degrees. So it's going to be a scorcher around here. Thank goodness I do have a few trees covering, so that helps. But what's the weather like where y'all are at? I mean, this is Ohio, so it could change. So wherever you're at, what's happening at your end? Are you getting, a good start to a summer season? Or is it, do you have mild summers where you're at, or is it rainy, or, and also, what kind of things do you all do in the summer? Do you go on vacations? Do you just plan family outings at your place or elsewhere? We don't do much. I haven't been on a vacation. Oh, God. I don't even know what that is. Being that I don't work, every day is a vacation. I think the last time I went somewhere, and I went on a plane, which I am terrified of flying. Terrified. It was in the 70s. That's a way back. And I was on a DC-10, which they say were bad planes, and they stuck me on a seat on the wing. That was scary. And I had flown to Toronto, which was, about, at that time, I think it was like a 45-minute flight from the airport. So we weren't that far. and stayed there for their Thanksgiving at that time. It was nice, and we had just hit their bad weather when we got into Toronto. Their winter season starting, and it was awful. I mean, it was like ice blowing, that type of thing. But it was a nice, and I'll tell you, at that time, their subways, they are so clean. I don't know how they are now, of course, that's way too many years ago. But they had beautiful subways. I mean, not a speck of graffiti, bright, shiny, beautiful. Have no clue what it's like now. But, the vacations that I had spent were mostly when I was little with my father. Going to Niagara Falls. Going to Tennessee. Seeing the Ruby Falls. The underground caves. Lookout Point. Anybody that's near Tennessee or familiar with Tennessee, they'd know those places. I did go one time on a belated honeymoon in the 70s we went to Pittsburgh, then we went to Maryland, we were at Gettysburg, we went to the Pittsburgh Zoo, which was beautiful then. Where else? We headed to Washington, D.C., but we got in a car accident with a cab. So we didn't get to see the Smithsonian and a few other sites that we wanted to see. We just decided it was time to head home. So that was the end of that little excursion. Oh my gosh. I'm trying to think what else could possibly be going on now. Just diamond painting. I lead, lazy tired granny says, exciting life over there, boring, and stuff. That's what it is here. I wake up, I check my glucose, I have my breakfast, and I have my coffee. Speaking of, I drink my coffee. Excuse me. I check out all the YouTube channels, and I try to respond to all of my comments on my channel. I try to comment on all the other channels that I can. And then I usually take Puppy out in between that. Then I sit for a little bit and view some other things on YouTube. And then I say, okay, I think it's time to start diamond painting. And I start diamond painting, and that sometimes will take me even past lunch. I mean, way past lunch that I forget to eat, because I'm usually not hungry. So, try to find something for lunch, and back to diamond painting. Then the next thing is, it's time to make dinner. and then back to diamond painting. So it's very boring. You know, I do my major house cleaning on Fridays only because it's what my mother always did. It's what her mother always did. It just seemed like Friday was the big cleanup day. I mean, you did the little things during the week, your little dusting or your, sweeping, vacuuming, you cleaned your kitchen up, things like that. But Friday was your big day, to like move furniture and, sweep behind it. Just all your things like that, because you never knew if you were going to get company, because company usually would come and visit you on, Saturday and Sunday. So my grandmother was the type that my mother's stepmother was the type, you do not clean on Sunday. You don't work at all on Sunday. She used to think that was a sin. Oh, you don't clean on Sunday, you don't work. That's the day of relaxation. She was a Catholic, and she felt like, you don't eat fish on Friday, you don't this and that. I mean, a lot of that changed, but she was very strict on certain things. So, that's what we did. But my other grandmother, a little Italian lady, just like my grandfather, both Italians, they came over from Italy, Genoa, and had a little tiny home. My dad used to say that my grandma and them, they used to sell ice cream with a little cart, and make a few dollars here and there and stuff. My grandmother, she had the greenest thumb I'd ever seen in my life. My dad and her went to, was it New Mexico? They went on vacation. He took her, and she had him stop on the back roads on the way back and dig up. It's illegal back then and now, I suppose, but dig up some cactus. He dug up cactus. He put him in the trunk of his car, brought him home, and I've got old 8mm film of those cactus growing in her yard. In Ohio. They survived. I don't know how my grandmother would do that, but she could grow anything. She could take a piece of leaf and grow it into the biggest plant you ever saw. My mother does the same thing. She loves her flowers. She grows beautiful flowers. I can't do it. I look at a flower and it's like, oh no, I'm out of here. She's going to kill me. So I'm not good with flowers. It's just, fake ones, okay, I'm fine. But I just cannot handle real flowers. They die. But she had a garden in the back with all kinds of vegetables. Everything my grandmother cooked, she'd go out in the back and she'd pick what she wanted out of her garden. There used to be a big woods behind her house. Now it's all developed and everything. The house is gone. And she had a woods behind there. And she would go back and pick wild mushrooms. And she knew I never did learn it real well, but she knew which mushrooms, what to pick, and she would, make those. The one thing I really liked, and it's funny, uh, what I really liked was dandelion sandwiches. Okay, now, I think it's strange. Now they charge you in the stores. You go in the stores and you can buy the dandelion leaves. Oh boy, you've got them in your own yard. As long as you don't poison your yard with pesticides and everything else, if you pick them at the right time, you have your own dandelion leaves. And she used to take dandelion leaves and she'd chop them up, cut them up, put in chopped up garlic, a little bit of onion. She might add some other Italian seasonings of whatever she had, and she'd fry them up a little bit, and then she'd add a couple eggs, scramble the eggs into them, and she'd make sandwiches with that. She'd put it on bread, and you'd have that as a lunch or a dinner or whatever. And those were all wild in her yard. She might throw some of the wild mushrooms in if that's what she felt like having that day. I remember her having her old ice box with the ice in it. The ice man with the ice in it. I remember waking up some mornings at her house when I'd spend the weekend. It'd be cold, and my dad would go down and stoke the fire because we had coal. She even had an outhouse until the 60s. That was scary, especially in the middle of the night if you had to go. It was a simpler time, but a harder time. But you know what? When you were growing up, you didn't know it was hard or it was different or it was, you didn't think you were poor. You didn't think you were rich. You just did what you did. It was fun. It was enjoyable. Playing in the woods. I used to collect eggs from my other grandmother's chicken coop. It never failed. Every time I'd go and collect the eggs, sometimes the chickens would try to peck at me, but I'd grab the eggs as fast as I could, get them out from under, and I'd come in, and it never failed. Every time I would collect the eggs, she'd have to make me go back and return the wooden ones I would grab, because you'd put them out there to entice the chickens to lay eggs. I don't know if that worked or not, but I would be grabbing the eggs so fast that I didn't want to get pecked, and I would forever grab the couple wooden ones that were there. And she'd have to send me right back out and take them back to the hen house, to the coop. But I did it. You'd think I would have learned, but I was in a hurry. I didn't. They scared me. So, well, I don't even know how long I've been on here, and it probably hasn't been that long. But I'm going to continue to diamond paint. I'm going to see how much more of this I can get done today. And I will try to, let you know my progress as it goes. Oh, that's just one other thing. They were talking about Chuck Pinson having, a lot of confetti and it's confetti heavy and things. There's confetti in this here, but it wasn't that much. For a small, there's a lot of colors for a small painting. 45 colors, that's a lot for something that's small. um, if all his others have confetti that's basically like this, where it's, 10 colors of this and maybe 5 of this, or they're scattered, I don't mind that. I really don't mind it. I mean, I've seen some that were so confetti heavy, it was like one color here, one color, one color, one color, one color. That would drive me crazy. Excuse me. But this is very enjoyable. I cannot wait to get it done. And this one I would like to really frame. I could maybe go down to the one Goodwill shop we have near us and find a frame that this will fit. And I'd like to frame this. So, well, it is now 11:20. So, yeah, I'm getting close to whatever time limit. So I will let you all go. If you stayed until now, thank you so much. If you haven't, well, that's fine too. I'm not everybody's taste. I agree. So I hope that those of you that are still off work are enjoying your day, safe. If you're diamond painting, keep going. Hope you're all having something great for supper. I have no clue what to do for mine, so we'll figure it out. So y'all have a good day. Enjoy it if you like the hot weather. And I will try and get back with y'all tomorrow. Love y'all, and I will see you in the AM on Tuesday. So, Diamond Painting Crazy Lady, I'm out.